Hello, Namaste. My name is Amana Begum and welcome to ThePrint. The Indian discourse was in override this week thanks to Larsen and Turbo chairman S.N. Subrahmanyan's enlightened advice to work even on Sunday. His internal call now fodder for the public and meme factories sparked another round of conversation about work culture in India. Of course, this isn't uncharted territory. Barely a few months ago, Infosys co-founder Narayan Murthy preached the gospel of 70 hours work week as a remedy for India's productivity woes. Together, this corporate sermon have reignited a familiar, tired debate. Is there no end to the narrative that blame hardship on laziness while glorifying relentless overwork as the only path to success? Perhaps Subrahmanyan, who advocate for a 90-hour work week to stay on the top of the world, consider offense to be the best defense. After all, he chose provocative statement over a reasonable explanation for his 7-day work culture push. The cherry on the top was his misogynistic comment that how long can you stare at your wife or how long can the wife stare at the husband. If this aim was the ridicule an already overburdened workforce, he certainly nailed it. Subrahmanyan's comment were an attempt to normalize a modern day slavery. The logic, of course, is as flawed as it's insulting. Success is always relatively, but in the Subrahmanyan's worldview, not working themselves to the bone is the biggest reason many people aren't as successful as those preached on the top of the corporate ladder. Such statements from CEOs and corporate gurus stem from a long running myth. Achieving success requires sacrificing every aspect of your personal life, and that disagreeing with such an approach amounts to failure. This narrative conveniently ignores that the productivity isn't merely a function of hours worked, it is influenced by countless factors, including mental health, physical well being, and work life balance. Even for those without family obligation, there is a limit to how many hours they can perform at peak efficiency. The biggest scam, however, is that implication that if anyone willing to endure grueling work hours will automatically rise on to the top. Success is inherently subjective, shaped by circumstances and relative to one's peers. It's not one size fit all formula. So the remark bluntly imply that social mobility is purely a function of hard work, branding those who remain poor or live in hardship as lazy. They perpetuate the illusions that if everyone works 90-hour week, they will somehow all become rich, successful, and leader in their field, conveniently ignoring that the critical roles of luck and privilege in shaping outcomes in a society with deeply entrenched hierarchical structure of caste and class can mere hours of work cannot alter people's lives. This oversimplification dismisses such realities and blame individual for circumstances often beyond their control. So people from underprivileged background remain stuck in a cycle of poverty despite putting in endless hours of work. But when some of these individuals manage to claw their way out, their success is paraded around as a proof that hard work is all it takes, completely ignoring the mountain of systematic barriers the rest face. It's the same tired playbook that the exceptions take the exceptions, call it the rule, and paint everyone else as a lazy. If one bother to look at the data, the illusion of social mobility in India quickly unravels. According to the ORF, for children whose parents' income falls in the bottom 20%, the odd of climbing to the highest income quintile are dismissal 3%. More than half, like 52% of these children will remain trapped in the same income bracket as their parents. The whole thing's become more ridiculous when the idea of nation building thrown in as an excuse for justifying endless work hours. So now is patriotism about building profit for shareholders? What about family? So the remark suggests that the families are a hurdle in a professional life and that the time spent on the spouses should be instead spent on the work. So does that nation not need further fathers and mothers, husbands and wives to help build its social fabrics? Or is it the idea of being cog in the corporate wheel more valuable than shaping the very relationship that form the backbone of the society? It's almost as if some rich people in India feel invincible, comfortably spewing ridiculous and outrageous statements because they know there will be no consequences. Their power and privilege shield them, allowing them to belittle the struggle of the working class without ever being held accountable. They exist in a bubble so far removed from the reality that they can say the most tone deaf thing with the confidence that nothing public backlash nor outrage could ever truly challenge their position. For more such video, keep watching The Print.